doing well. Let me make sure that we are live today, day number 4. Already, day number 4, let's go. So we're gonna continue to work on our agent. Just make sure that my stream is live and that we have audio. Okay, looks like we're good. So let's get started, guys. Hope you guys are doing well today. And I'm gonna be streaming. Maybe this one is gonna be slightly shorter than usual, but we're gonna try to do our best. I'm gonna show you guys. I've worked a little bit overnight on this. Nothing crazy. I just did a little bit of polishing mostly. So we might get that done here. So we're gonna continue to polish, and see how the product's coming along. All right, let's get back here. So I just want to show you guys where we are at. Here's our PRs. Nothing is open right now. We might have some closed ones. Yeah, we have some issues. All issues are resolved as well. So let's see where we're at. So we mentioned we've done a couple of polishes, mostly just on the front end. We didn't do anything too crazy. So I believe we started maybe around right here. So this was yesterday. We kind of did the mark interacted stuff. And let me actually decrease my camera. There it is. So you guys can see what's happening on the screen. So just overnight, I've done a couple of things. Nothing too crazy. Just stabilize left status height. So a couple of front end changes. Persist scout stage log with pagination a time ago. So as you can see, we have the better logging here on the left side. I just tried to get rid of some layout shift. Again, nothing crazy. We still need to fix this. This one looks a little bit better, but it still can be fixed a little bit. So there's not perfect, but it's a little bit better than it was before. And looking at some other things, what else have we done? We surfaced the real scout failure. So this was just some infra stuff. When it failed, we wanted to surface it. Finally, the logs. We want to make sure that we are putting newest first for the status bars, and just log labels and keep thread row visible when scout is running. So we keep this visible while scout is running. So again, a couple of very small things, nothing too crazy. Again, we do not have anything open right now in Cursor. If I take a look, this is what we have in Cursor. Let me see, actually. I think this is wrong. I think I need to restart Cursor really quick. Right. Oh, see. There it is. So I did have the wrong window here open, I believe, for Cursor. But let me see. Okay, we're gonna, yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties here slightly. So this should be good. This is our project, I believe. Yep. Okay. So let's get to it here. We have Cursor. Everything is okay. We just restarted everything. I had another tab just working on some other project. So for our X-Copilot, where are we at? We do not have any open issues, and we don't have anything to really that's burning. So we are kind of ready to maybe move on to the next part of this, because, okay, let me just show you guys how it works right now. So you can start a scouting loop. It will start scouting, looking for X threads, looking for scoring, for bait risk. It will analyze a couple of threads, and then it will simply output them. So as you can see here, there's a couple of good ones, a couple of bad ones. We still have an issue where every time I do a scout, it overwrites my previous ones, which is really frustrating. So that's the first thing I would like to tackle. We're going to go ahead and take a screenshot. And let's go back to Cursor, and I guess we could just speak this. I prefer typing it out, to be honest. I don't know. A lot of people are starting to speak it. I'm used to typing it out, and if you're working in public, in coffee shop or something, where you're going to be speaking like this, it's kind of weird. Just type it out. So let's type out the issue here. So can you please investigate issue when I start a new scout loop? It overwrites previous threads. Why is that? Shouldn't it just append to the current threads? Can you investigate this issue, please? So we just want an investigation for this specific thing, because look, we have 3 threads. Let's say I start a new scout. It has my 3 there. I wanted to just append new threads to it, not replace them. It makes no sense. See, it just completely replaces. And plus, I've already interacted with this individual. I'm very curious as to why it keeps using the same one. There's millions and millions of people on X. There's no reason why we should be hitting the same accounts. So I think once we interact with one account, this is part of the Mark interacted stuff. So we can actually handle this in today's stuff. So we're still doing a small, we're still doing a little bit of bug hunting, because yeah, it makes no sense why the previous threads disappear. And also we need a Mark interacted tab. So maybe we have a thread where it's like found threads, and we want two tabs, a two-tabbed layout where we can view the interacted ones and the new ones that we should interact with. So that's another issue. So what is the issue here? Let me see. The root cause, which page are we on? We are cursor. The root cause is only stop the wipe at start. When the run finishes, this still runs. So we need to fix this. Raise an issue and open up a PR to fix this bug, please. Yeah, I mean, this is just a single PR. It's going to handle this. So this is going to be the issue with the threads getting replaced. Now let's take a look at the Mark interactive stuff, because I think the next meaningful gap before doing like memories and stuff like this, when I click Mark interacted, the thread completely disappears and I'm not able to do anything. So that's the next issue I would like to tackle. So I guess we're still in Grok. So I went ahead and take a screenshot of the page where it says Mark interacted, and I'm just going to have it investigate another issue. Please investigate another issue. This time, what's the issue this time? The issue this time is when I click Mark interacted, thread just disappears. We should have a tabbed layout for the main page, so we have a new threads / curated threads feed, and we should also have an interacted with feed, at least so I know which threads I have interacted with. And also another thing I would like to add, maybe it's a good addition to the settings page, is what was that? Is whether to dedupe accounts. So if we ever interacted with an account before, we do not want to curate a thread from that account. It's clear there are thousands / millions of ICP users for us. So why would we hammer the same account twice? So that's kind of another thing. Please raise a proper issue for this and scope out the PRs, whether a single focused PR or a stack of PRs via MG. Here's a new thing we've added I can share with you guys, is for Mergestorm, we've added proper stacks. We're still working on this, so I apologize for some. There's going to be a little bit of layout stuff. But here's an example of stacks. This needs to be fixed. This is a Mergestorm stack. We have a couple of things here I'll show you guys in a bit, but we're going to throw in a new stack. Well, this actually already shows you here. So again, this needs a little bit of work still, but as you can see, we have some stacks, and this is for Mergestorm. We're just fixing some review stuff for our agents. This is for the Mergestorm agent. And as you can see, we're working on stacks, and we're actually reworking this. This is going to be a lot different. Right now, each PR gets merged into main, but when we create our stacks, okay, we'll first use graphite before. We've been using graphite for stacking, but it's just not good enough for us. For example, when you click on a PR, it keeps you in graphite, which is really frustrating for me. And so we decided to just build our own stacking PR dashboard. Right now, it's okay, but it's not good. We're gonna rework it entirely. We scoped out already exactly how the stacks are gonna work, and I explained that I think in the next video is better. But for now, we'll just know that stacks do work, and we can just merge up the stack. For now, that's how it works. You can just click land next, but this is still beta / alpha, so we do not recommend using this. You could use it if you go to dashboard stacks if you want to. Try it out, and you can open a stack through npm, but we still need to update the docs, and you do this through the CLI. So you could do this if you wanted to, but I would not recommend doing it just yet, but in the future, we're actually adding some really cool stuff for Mergestorm. So when you merge a stack, it's going to start doing something called review units. So if you have a 3PR stack, you take the bottom stack, and let's say it passes all the checks, you merge it. Okay, it's actually going to merge into review unit 1. And so what happens is when you merge this PR up to 176, what's going to happen is it's going to take 175, since it's completed the review, and it's going to do an integration test, or a seam, however you want to call it, with 176. So it's going to take 175 code, and it's going to say, how does 176 relate to 175? What are some cross interoperability or some connections between 176 and 175? It's going to do a review on this in a single branch. So these, when you move 175 up to 176, you're creating a single branch with kind of both PRs on there. With what really happens under the hood is all the the whole stack lives on our own branch. So when you merge the first PR up with the second one, what happens is you take the first PR commits, and then you push it on a new branch, and then you replay PR2's commit on top of that. Now you have this kind of like review unit, and you're going to essentially look at an integration test between those PR2's commits and PR1's. Now for PR3, what's going to happen is you're going to have already these two PRs in one unit, okay, on one branch. So when it comes to this PR, it's just the branch is going to get restacked. It's going to get kind of replayed. It's going to take the first part on the branch, is put it on the new branch, and it's going to replay the latest PR on it. So that makes a little bit of sense. We're going to make the visuals a lot nicer, so you'll actually see exactly what's going on. And this is our proprietary solution to PR stacking. We were not using Graphite. Graphite does something different with base branches and temporary bases. It does something different, not for us. We're doing something in-house specifically to make reviews better. So because we own the stack, and we also own all the review agents, it's going to make it just undoubtedly better experience when you have the review agent actually able to understand that you're looking now, because each PR was reviewed by itself already. Now the idea is when we combine them two, we just want to look at any cross references or any cross pollution between the two PRs. Where do the PRs talk with each other? How do they relate? And this is what we want to review. We don't necessarily want to review just both PRs at the same time, because it's going to re-review all the first PR's commits and the second PR's commits. What we want to do is review just this middle part. If the PR2 says front end, PR1 is the back end, you want to review any connections where the front end might be calling the back end. That's really what you're interested in. You're not interested in all the front end logic or all the back end logic. That has been reviewed already. You're really interested in how is the front end relate to the back end, for example. So once you have that connected, okay, let's say the third PR is actually going to be some database stuff. Well, it's going to be a little bit easier. So now you have the front end and back end as a single review unit, and you're reviewing, let's say, Supabase migrations on top. So instead of looking at all the interconnections, you're just looking at the connections between PR1 and PR2 to the Supabase migration. So you're looking at a little chunk. I don't know if that makes a little sense, but anyway, we're kind of going off topic here when it comes to these reviews. So let me just get some food real quick. Okay, so we can get started. And I think we have some issues scoped out, and let's get back on task. Do we have cursor? Let me open cursor so I'll show you guys what we have going on here. So we do have an issue open. Let me just take a quick look. This issue scopes out two PRs. So a 2 PR stack. So let's go ahead and do just that. I'm going to go ahead and go plan mode. Please go ahead and open up a MGPR stack for issue 66. Make a plan to open up the PRs. Yeah, so that was just going to make a plan to do the 2 PRs as an MG stack, which is what it recommended. Now we're still doing graphite stack. Okay, it's gonna be a graphite stack because graphite. We don't have MG set up just yet on this host. I forgot. Do we? Yeah, we do not have it set up yet on the host, but we'll get it done later. So for now, it's gonna be a graphite stack still, but I think starting tomorrow we're gonna be fully using our own platform. We're just doing a couple of front end polishes tonight, and We just need to redesign our actual stacking mechanism. Now, I know GitHub is planning on releasing its own GitHub stacks, and it's even available in beta for some users, but we don't really care about this. We mostly care about essentially creating a branch, which means this is a review unit, and directing, orchestrating our agents to properly understand when a PR is part of a stack and when you're trying to kind of merge a PR into a stack. So what happens is, just with these stacks, is eventually you're going to have, let's say you have a 5 PR stack. You're going to be reviewing. Eventually you're going to have one big branch with all the diff of all the 5 PRs. So obviously you could just throw Tempest review on there, something systematic. But also the other point is, it's better, okay, obviously it's better than just opening up one huge PR. First of all, opening up 5 smaller PRs is better than opening up one big one. The only issue that you could think of is, because they're separated PRs, the review agents might have a little bit of an issue kind of reviewing any interconnections between them. And so with this new workflow, it's going to allow each PR to be reviewed independently by itself as one piece, and then we're combining them already. We're combining the reviewed pieces and only looking at their connections. So it's kind of definitely an upgrade to our workflow. So let me just put this plan correctly. So we're just gonna open up this PR, this stack of PRs for this, and let me see any issues we have. I believe we have 2 open issues. So this will address number 66. So this will address the issue of number 66, the threads tabs. So tabs for curated, where ones we interact with, and 64, I believe we already have a PR in flight for this one. So I believe it's already done churning, is it? Yes, it is. So we can actually merge this one. And this will close issue 66. So now we only have one issue, and we're taking care of this right now. So I'm already thinking of what's the next step we could do. Yeah, with this agent mode. Yeah, I guess because we're trying to implement the PR. We don't need to plan anything. You could technically ask it to plan, so it plans the moves and executes this, but it already has the plan as part of the issue, so it might be a bit redundant to ask it to plan again. But it's really personal preference, I think, and especially if you're using something like Grok 4.5, it's really low cost to either have you plan it out or just straight up to either plan it out or straight up execute it right away. So let me think what the next issue is. Let me switch back to our Copilot. So let's try to interact with it. So again, we have the dedupe stuff with the interactions, but we do need the tabs because we're not even sure what's going on. So I think I would like to have the PRs open and churn before I move forward, but let's see here. Okay, it looks a little better unless it found the same exact threads. Also, something is wrong with these 5-day-old threads, and it seems that there's something smelly when it comes to the actual logic of how it's doing the search. That's what I want to understand. What is it actually searching for, you know? That feels like it smells a little bit. So I would like to actually understand how it's doing the search. So let's ask Grok. Can you please explain how are we actually doing the search? It feels like a black box to me still. Also, it seems we end up grabbing relatively old threads, like 13 to 14 hours old. We should focus on more recent threads, right? It feels like the search just doesn't give us enough results. Can you investigate and report back? Also, do some research about methods of doing proper search on X. What do you suggest? Now, I'm not sure if it's doing the search through like For You. If it's doing a For You search, of course, it's gonna just show me accounts that I follow. I'm pretty sure that we decided not. I would look at the code. Usually, I don't. Lately, I've been not looking at the code just because AI has gotten so smart that actually looking at the code, yeah, it's nice, but You just give it the right prompt. So let me see here. I'm assuming this is the search function or the search file. So what do we have? Heal search query, search timeline. So what is this search timeline? Seems like the main function here. It gets to the query and it just does the search, right? Here's the search query. Something live. Client disconnect. I got some attempts. It tries to do this a couple of times, and then there's some onboard controlling in case it times out. It looks like it uses the GraphQL to search the timeline. See, this is very important. It seems like this is searching the timeline, which is, I don't know if, so it's searching the timeline. Is it confined to my own For You page? I thought it should just search the public feed, not hard-coded to my own For You page, which is based on who I'm following. So that's another thing. Search timeline. I'm assuming this is just a regular search. I hope it is. So it just does a search for the query. That's it. It doesn't seem like it's anything complicated. It's just you get a query and you do a search for it. Now I'm trying to understand if maybe there's a better way to do this rather than just searching for a query. Help me understand if there's a cleaner way to do search for threads rather than a simple query. Any suggestions? Now I'm just looking for some opinions or some ideas. We're still finishing up the previous PR here. So let me check. This is the X search, and we do have some tests. So I think the X search, the query plan as well. What is the query plan? It is going to use DeepSeek v4 to create a query and send it through the X search. So it seems like it's okay, but it just doesn't feel like it's really getting those quality threads, you know? It seems like it only gets 2 or 3 threads. It doesn't feel like it's really doing what I want it to do. So let me just actually zero in on the searching. So what does cursor say? Let's see. Oh, we're still on the wrong window. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's what does cursor say? All right. DeepSeek turn. So here's the plan. How does it work? We have an agenda. DeepSeek query plan 2 to 4 queries. Okay. So 2 to 4 queries. So, okay, search. For search query sidecar posts to search timeline, right? The query, the product is latest. Great. So it does going to use latest. Count up to 20 per call. Query source type. Query refer to even. Refer is even set to XF live filter hard drop cool / dedupe authors long post articles qualify fill a bucket of 5 survivors then LLM score keep cool ones. So the black box is session auth GraphQL search equals logged in web search latest. Then your pipeline throws most of it away before you see cards. Is it stuck on For You? No. Okay, why 13 to 14 hour threads show up? Latest equals reverse chrono of what X returns for the query, not last 2 hours only. If the niche is quiet, the newest matching posts are half a day old. You also don't append operators like within time, since time, so nothing. Okay, so this is good. Why it feels like not enough. 2 to 4 queries times 20, less than 20 hits. Small raw pool. So here are some suggestions. Force recency in raw query. Yes. Okay, that's good. Okay, so open up an issue and let's add a couple of things. First, I want to force recency, as you mentioned in number 1. Second, I would like to paginate latest as well. So we follow for 2 to 3 pages and get more results that way. And broader queries, fewer quoted phrases, mixed topical keywords, min faves, filter, replies when you want signal. Let's just do that for now so we don't over-engineer, as these things should, at the very least, help us get more candidates to review. So go ahead and scope out this issue and open it up. So again, we're just going to scope out this issue and open this as a proper issue on the PR. And we don't want to essentially, I mean, it has some suggestions, but we don't really want all of them. I just want forced recency does seem like a thing we do want, and paginate latest will give us a bit more candidates, which seems like the correct approach that we want. Let me look at the PRs right now. We do have a two PR stack running, and yeah, I think this is graphite stack. So let me go to graphite. Yeah, like I mentioned, we're gonna move to Mergestorm MG stacks in the next couple of days, but for now we still have graphite here. Are we on? Let me see. Yep, we got the stack right here. You guys can see on graphite. It is ready to merge. Stack 67 is ready to merge. Let me see. I mean, PR 67. We're merging. They're not really ready though. As you can see, they're still getting reviewed. So we're gonna wait a little bit until they get the approved. So now Vortex is reviewing this one, and it's also reviewing this one. We do have 2 lanes for Vortex. We did manage to upgrade Vortex and double up on its throughput. We essentially doubled the instances that are running for Vortex. Super nice. The next up is Cyclone as well, but we're still working on some stack stuff, and also Tempest is going to get an upgrade as well. So we definitely have a couple of cool features coming up from Mergestorm. And again, if you guys are interested in getting an account, you can just go to mergestorm.com, and if you send us an email, I can try to upgrade your account to a higher level. So this one, I do have 5 seats of Maelstrom account, which is kind of like $1,000 a month. As you can see, I'm already burning through a lot, but each Maelstrom account is about $200. But I think we're going to actually combine standard credits and premium credits, and all we're going to do is move this up into here. So if you do one Vortex review or a Cyclone patch, it's just going to be 1 credit as normal. But if you want to do a Tempest review, let's say with Sonnet, it's going to cost you 3 credits. With Kimi, it's going to cost you 3, and with Opus, it's going to 5. And with Fable, it's going to cost 10 credits. I think it makes a lot more sense to just have the same type of credits rather than splitting by standard and premium. Because if we just have one type of credits, then you guys can use them whichever way you want. And again, any overage, we don't have overages. You just buy an extra seat. So if you need extra credits, you buy another seat. So you start off with 1,000 credits. You can use Tempest, you can use Vortex, or both, or neither, or whichever one you want. If you want more, there's no overage. There's no such thing. We don't have overage pricing. We just have we just have the plans. So you either are able to get, if you don't have enough, you can buy an extra seat. Very simple. So we allow you to get seats on the Pro account or on the Maelstrom account. So yeah, this is my current plan. But yeah, if you want a Pro or Maelstrom. So anyway, guys, let's go back to this PR. Where are we at? It's the wrong one. Yep. Sorry, we need to go into the correct repo. X-Copilot here. All right. So this one is done churning, and this one still needs to go. It should be done soon. This isn't a huge PR, but as you guys can see, when we do a stack of PRs, it's good to split it up. This is 300 lines of diff, and this one is like 200 lines of diff, right? 100 lines. So it's better to obviously split it up than to have into 2 than to have one large one with 500 lines. But at some point, you still need to kind of combine all of this into one unit, if that makes sense. So this is where our review unit stuff comes in for Mergestorm, and it's coming up in the next couple of days. We'll keep you guys posted, and as soon as it's live, we'll be doing those kind of workflows. You guys can check out how it works. So let me see here how we're doing. We still got some time. We just kind of started. So we're waiting on just this PR to finish. Meanwhile, we could just go into here. And let's see what we got to interact with. This is 5 days ago. This is really rough. We really don't want to. What about this one? It's offering an intro to a SaaS builder. Let me see. This is Bordy. Again, I've interacted with Bordy already. So we actually need like another button to say, for example, dismiss it, or I could just mark as interacted. But that's not really what I want to do. Essentially, we need a button to kind of like dismiss it, because Bordy, I've already interacted with it. I've actually had a call with Bordy AI. It helps you with VC applications and stuff like this. Bordy is kind of cool, but this is a cool thread that it identified, but it's 5 days old, so it's not quite what we want. As you can see, this is really old. It's maybe if we interacted with it, we would get some activity, but yeah, it's too old. We're not looking for that. Let's go ahead and try again. Meanwhile, our PRs are still cooking here. I think it looks like they actually both passed. Okay, so this is good. They're both checked off. Vortex got the all clear on this one, and I think also got the all clear on this one as well. Yep. So since this is a graphite stack, you could just merge both of them, but I'm gonna just merge one. And I'll show you what happens, really. When you merge one, you merge this into main. Let me show you guys what graphite does. And this is not something, this is how graphite does this, but we're going to be doing something different starting tomorrow. We already have the plan. So as you can see, this bottom PR, it was branched off of main initially. Initially, it was branched off main. You see? It branches off main. So when we merge it as a stack, it's just going to merge it into main, which is like, why? Why would you... What's the point of doing a stack if you're just going to merge the bottom PR into main? First of all, that's one graph I've had. Now, what does it do with the higher PR? So as you can see here, this PR, it went and merged into main. So what is it doing with this one? It's rebasing it, but look at how it's doing this. And I'm not a big fan of this. Even when I first saw graphite, I was like, what is going on with you're not supposed to do force pushes. What is going on with force pushes? Like, every time you restack, you do a force push, something's not right. As you can see here, we have force pushes and... it's a mess. But to actually explain what's going on, so the base branch of this PR was initially PR1. So this second PR was based on this PR, on PR 67, and 67 was based on main. This is kind of like how the stack works. You could even do the same stack without graphite. You could just base one PR on the next one, and that creates a sort of stack. So that's how this PR was structured initially. As you can see, this one on top, well, now it's based off of this bottom PR, threads, tabs. So this is the... well, it was initially based off this, but look what happened. So after we merged the bottom PR, so it was initially based on the PR1. Think of it like that. It was initially based off PR1, but when we merged it up, it changed the base from PR1's base to a temporary graphite base. Right here, graphite base 68. And then what it did is it replayed the commits from PR1, right? So it created a new temporary branch. It replayed the bottom PR's commits. So it replayed this PR's commits onto this new branch. And then it force pushed whatever I had onto this branch. And then it does another force push. Really messy. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Really messy. And when it comes to code review, it's you create a new base branch, right? And then you're rebasing a current PR onto a different branch. It becomes a mess. We're gonna be doing something completely different, and no force pushes really. What we're gonna do is create a temporary branch to own the full stack. So the reason why Mergestorm is just gonna be cleaner than graphite is our stack is not gonna be based on main. This first PR in the stack is going to be based on our own temporary branch called mg-stack-number whatever. And then this second PR, sure, it's going to be based on the first PR like before. But when it comes time to actually merge this, we're not going to merge this into main. This PR is not going to get merged into main. Instead, it's going to get merged into our temporary branch, if that makes sense. So it's going to get merged into our temporary branch, and then on top of it, we're going to force push or replay the second PR on top, if that makes sense. And then we're going to review everything as one unit, and it's going to be review unit 1. If you have a third PR on top, and you merge that, you're not merging into main. You're merging into your stack branch. Eventually, if you have a 3 PR stack or a 5 PR stack, you'll have a huge branch with all the work on this one branch. So when it comes time to take this PR stack and merge it into main, you already know each piece has been reviewed individually, and it just makes life a lot simpler. So we're going to be doing it this way starting tomorrow. But for now, this works. It looks like everything got approved. This is our X-Copilot, so we can go ahead and finally just merge the rest into main. Done. So now that we merged everything, I would usually ask the agent to git pull origin main, so your sig blah blah blah, because there's stuff though. So git pull origin main, git stash. Yeah, I mean, it looks like there's issues. Sometimes it's easier to yeah, sometimes it's easier to just tell it to figure it out. Because what is the issue? I need to rebase stuff. I think because we're on currently on some sort of branch. We're currently on a branch, so I need to switch to main, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have it do it really quick and just sync us up because, yes, we are all done here. We've merged everything and the branches will be deleted. So this is it. And the issue, we only have one issue now. Force recency. Okay, so this is the next stuff. So let me go back into Cursor, and we're just gonna now start working on this PR. Oh, I'm in Cursor. We gotta start working on this PR right here. So this is, I'm gonna make a plan. Please make a plan to fix this issue. Address it according to how it's described. So we're gonna make a plan based on this. This is all sync up. We're gonna go ahead and just restart production through PM2 manager, and I don't think we need to restart our Vite server because it's just gonna automatically figure everything out. So let's move back into, while this is gonna be scoping out the plan for the PRs. Actually, let's go ahead and execute this plan, and then we'll go back to do some more testing. All right, how are we doing? Okay, here we go. It got the plan. We're going to start on the plan. Okay, and now we can just switch back to our window here. So this is looking a little bit better. Well, let's go ahead and just retry it again, because we restarted everything, the back end, the front end. Make sure that we're at least getting a little bit better search. Actually, this is not going to happen yet, because we're just now implementing the search recency and the extra pagination. So we're still going to get pretty, not the greatest threads. And see, these are all old. This one is decent, 11 hours ago. So let's see what we got here. This guy is taking a screenshot, promoting some of his revenue and promoting his website. Again, how did this get through our filters? I'm kind of disappointed. So yeah, we're going to go ask Cursor this because I'm not sure why that happened. Let's look at our actual X-Copilot. So it said asking a builder about product selection and traffic acquisition, likely a genuine newbie question. So this guy asked a builder. I see he asked a builder, but the thing is we should also qualify the OP. That's the thing. We're missing OP qualification. Just because someone responded in something that we find useful, if they responded to something that we do not like, for example, just someone promoting their product, then we need to just discard that as well. So we need to be a little bit more strict with that. This seems like it's something that we should open up as a new issue, which I'm going to do just now. Please raise another issue with the filtering. It seems that, yes, it may qualify a proper response, but you see, sometimes the response is to an OP message that is clearly something that doesn't align with the type of content we are looking for. This guy, for example, is just promoting his app. We do not want to interact or engage with this kind of content. I don't know, this might sound a little harsh. Please investigate how we can solve this properly, likely by qualifying the OP message, not just the response, and raise an issue for that with a scoped out plan for a single PR or a stack of PRs. Okay, guys. So this one, yeah, we're looking to just. It is a genuine question. Yes, it is. And it's a genuine help request. I agree. This is a good thing here, somewhat. But I'm not a big fan of this guy pretty much got baited. It really sucks that it seems that this guy literally got baited to respond to this. As you can see, he got 5 views. He got no likes. He did not even get a like from the guy who made the post, you know? This is what this does not look very good. No way. The 8.4k views feels like it was just boosted on X, and the likes and the comments and the likes and the retweets, for example, don't quite align. And yeah, this does not look organic or something we are interested in. So I just want to make sure we're able to avoid this kind of stuff. And again, if what we were working on is an X-Copilot, is going to find you interesting ideas, interesting threads, interesting people to actually interact with. The X algorithm, a lot of people have issues with it, including myself, and it keeps baiting you. It keeps showing on the For You page, it will keep on showing you like rage baity stuff that will rage bait you, or just ask you a question and try to get you to share your link or answer some question. And the most disrespectful part about all of it is they will rage bait you into some question, and you answer that question and they're not even going to interact with you. Complete engagement bait, and just something we would like to avoid. So I don't really like to use the X For You anymore. I just like to use this. If I'm trying to find some people to interact with, I'm just gonna use this pretty much. So let's see here. Let's go back to Cursor. We are in Cursor. So we are in Cursor. What's wrong? The only triage only sees the hit text. Replies like I need to just look on agenda. The OP never reaches DeepSeek. We don't parse in reply to subscriber at all. So this is a good thing. So let me see our current status for the PR. What do we have? We did have the PR open because it's addressing this one issue, and we have a second issue. I would feel a lot more comfortable if we can just check off on this PR before opening up a new PR to address the new issue. Looks like this is pretty fast. We already have Vortex just identify one small issue. Cyclone patched it. I'm pretty sure this will be a really fast check off, so we can merge this in the next couple of minutes. We're just gonna wait for this to clear, and then we can merge this and open up the new PR to address the replying to. I think so. Give us a second here. Let's see. I know we wanted to do memory. We did want to implement memory, but I think we might save it for tomorrow, because we're still trying to iron out the core value of our product. I think we should first focus on actually being able to identify those cool threads. This is a cool thread. 1 hour ago. I like it. Talking about Google or something small and short and simple. Let's see. There we go. This is perfect. This is organic. This is not promoting your project or product or asking to promote anything or asking some weird question. I love this. This is perfect. Let's see, my former boss, he founded Android while being an exec at Google. He's also the only guy who can help Google win a product shipping war versus GPT and Cloud. I'm just going to try to be supportive of Google. Google has tons of potential. Hope to see it in action soon. Gemini does have a place in the market, but it's getting beat by every frontier model right now. Yeah, Gemini, like, I don't really use Gemini. I know some people do like to use Gemini, and I'm not trying to talk bad about Google, but they also admitted themselves that did not want to release the new model. They didn't want to release Gemini 3 because they knew that it was not as good as they wanted it to be. So Gemini, I think, is good because it's free. I think it's one of the only frontier models that's like 100% free, which is nice. But you also have Kimi K3 that's coming out with open weight models. So Gemini's just got to find their place in the market. So regardless, we did interact with this. I love this. This is organic. This is something that you can throw your opinion on, and this is us connecting with relevant people. So according to this, we're just going to mark as interacted. I know this is annoying to do this manually right now, but right now we have this interacted thing. You see, it's still not good. It's the layout is messed up, but the whole point is this brings us one step closer to creating this vector memory, durable memory. We're going to take every single interaction, store it in an MD file as almost like a wiki, right? And then we're going to allow agents to, when it finds the threads and when it does the triage, it's going to search through vector memory. It's going to search through our memories for anything related to those threads or those topics and see whether we liked it or not. The next kind of step in this, once we have the interaction saved, I guess this saves it as like a interaction ID. Once it's saved, we still want to get some stats on it. So for every interaction, we also want to get the stats. I'm pretty sure we could do it ourselves. By stats, I mean this analytics here to see how many views did we even get, whether we got any likes or comments or posts. So this is going to be a good next step to do once we get this interaction stuff figured out. And then once we are able to get stats for every interaction, then our agent can learn from it and it can adapt to you personally based on which interactions you post and which ones get the most views. So it's going to try to find other threads that help you in that sense. So this is kind of a little bit of a higher level overview of what we are trying to achieve. Meanwhile, let's see how our PR is cooking. So our PR is all done here. This is a single PR or is it a stack of PRs? No, this is a single PR that's all done churning. So let's go ahead and merge this one. It's going to merge into main, delete the branch. And now we're going to go back to cursor and go ahead and make the plan. So please sync up with main as we merge the previous PR and close the issue. And now I want you to make a proper plan to add the two PRs as a graphite stack to address issue 71. So this time we are going to continue optimizing our initial value proposition. Like, yes, I do want to add memory, and I think memory is super cool, but it makes no sense to add memory if even our core product is not even working. So this PR is going to just improve the triage a bit, because we're not only going to look at the reply, but we're going to look at what is replying to, and we're just going to completely discard any replies that are replying to engagement bait, and we should actually tag it as, the guy got baited into replying almost. It's that's just pretty simple, straightforward, and fetch the parent tweet. So this is simply focused on this slight quality increase in getting the right thread, so we can discard those ones that are not doing anything useful. Okay, let me see. We're gonna build this out, and if we look at our PRs, I'm trying to think what the next step that we should do. We should be all good to go here for now. Everything is cleared out. There's just the one issue that we're opening up the PR for. And besides that, there's still a couple of front-end polish I would like to do. I mean, I'm not sure what's going on here. It just shows me the number. I'm not sure what this number means. I'm assuming this is the post ID of the user, but it doesn't have my interaction post ID. So we definitely need some sort of better mechanism here to where we can maybe detect things that we interacted with, maybe even some sort of loop to poll and update stats, once an hour or something like this. This is something I'd like to think about maybe to do tomorrow. Meanwhile, we're still waiting on Cursor to finish this PR plan. This is going to be a 2 PR stack through Graphite. So we're just going to wait a couple of minutes. It should be pretty fast. I like to use Cursor Grok 4.5 for pretty much everything. I'm also out of Opus 5 credits. I'm out of all premium credits until next month. But it's okay. Cursor Grok 4.5 is actually really smart. I highly recommend it. It's super fast as well. I haven't had any major issues with it. I mean, other than maybe the front end being pretty scuffed. If you ask it to do any front end work, I'd recommend Opus 5 for front end. Cursor Grok 4.5 does everything you really need. I haven't had too many issues with it. It's a really impressive model. I highly recommend it. I only use 4.6, never used that. Sonnet 5, never used Sonnet 5. I tried it a couple times and it's just, there's no point to use it. If you want to use something like this, just use Cursor Grok 4.5. Opus 5 has, there's mixed feelings about Opus 5. Some people are saying that it goes off script and it starts going down rabbit holes you don't like. It happened to me once on a project. Opus 5, first of all, Opus 5 does insane front end. This is really nice. Opus 4.8 already does nice front end. So Opus 5 is just so much better. Obviously, Fable 5 is the king. If you want like top tier front end, yeah, man, Fable 5 will give you some real nice front end. GPT 5.6 Soul, guys, I'm a little biased. I don't really want to talk, but I'll tell you this much. I don't use GPT. I don't use GPT Soul. I don't use GPT Luna. I don't know why. I don't use Terra. I don't see a need for it. If I want something smart, I use Fable 5. If I want something fast, I use Cursor Grok. If I want something in between, I have Opus 5. I have no need for GPT 5.6 Soul or Terra. I don't even have a need for Gemini. I don't have a need for Kimi K3. We do support Kimi K3 for code reviews if you want to run it. Kimi K3 is nice to do some audits here and there. If you want to save some money on Fable. Like, yeah, if you're out of usage credits, Kimi K3 is actually pretty decent. But I don't say Cursor Grok 4.5 is what you've been seeing me use, what I use for almost everything, for planning, for execution, for investigation. And yeah, if you need a little bit of like you have some root cause issue you want to identify, Fable 5 will be great, but Fable 5 will also, I've had to go back and forth with Fable 5. I was talking to it about doing our PR stacks, and it just came up with some really messy code. It just continued to refuse to do proper Git workflows. So Fable 5 can also throw some into the wrong direction if you don't give it a good enough prompt. But I had a lot of luck with Cursor Grok 4.5. So anyway, here we go. We have the 2 PR stack already open. This is going to be a graphite PR stack. So let me show you how it looks in graphite. Here's our graphite stack. We have a couple of other stuff ongoing here. But here it is. Here's our X-Copilot stack of 2 PRs. Now, we are going to wait for them to actually churn through. So both of them are getting reviewed by Vortex right now. It's going to take a couple of minutes. It's just the initial review is a little bit heavy. Once the initial review is done, it's going to check out on this, and we'll be able to stack it up and merge it. So this is going to take some time, maybe a couple of minutes. We're not going to sit there waiting for this. Let's kind of move on to the next issue that we can tackle. So we could open up another issue, and I'm trying to think, what is the next logical thing that we should do? We've just added an improvement to our triage so we can find threads better. And I think something we should think about is how can we get stats for our interacted items. So let me just first ask it. We're just gonna kind of talk to Grok a little bit, see what it says. So the next logical step, I think, is we need a mechanism/system for understanding our replies and grabbing their stats. So we want to see how many views our reply got, how many likes, etc., etc. I'm thinking something like each reply we can check it 1 hour after and 24 hours after. Let's say that's it. We can schedule a hourly loop to check various replies for stats. I don't know, unless there is a better way. I'm just thinking, help me understand what my options are. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you guys, so I'm just trying to understand what my options are when it comes to grabbing stats. Because, I mean, maybe there's some, I definitely don't want to use API though, that's the one thing. APIs is the one thing I do not want to use. So as long as, because paying for dev API to get some stats, no, I feel like we can always do it with our session cookies. This is a plan mode. I don't think this is plan mode, but okay, I guess it's going to plan out. But it's going to end up with a plan. It's not something I want, but regardless. So it is thinking this is an architecture decision for reply stats sampling, which is kind of true. But if we have tons of replies, right? If we have 1,000 replies, we need a scalable way to get their stats. So this is something I'm still just thinking about. It's something worth thinking about for a little bit. And we'll figure out a proper way to get the stats for our past replies so that our agent can actually learn from them, and also so we can see which replies work well and which ones don't work well. All right, guys, so I think my food is coming up real soon here. And we've done quite a bit of work. I think we've done a little bit of progress. We've improved our searching for the threads still. We still haven't done any huge, big features. So, okay, let's look at the plan. It actually created a plan that it wants me to execute. So, option analysis for tracking views / likes on our replies. So, what is the plan? How do we know our reply? This is the main fork. A, paste reply URL. Right. Well, we'll do the. This is the simplest way because I'm okay with doing this. Simple, accurate, no new X surface, extra steps, easy to skip. We could auto-find via user tweets. After mark, scan our timeline for a recent reply to thread. Yes, this is nice. I like this. Fragile timing, rate limits may miss delayed posts. Right, that is a true blocker. Another thing is post from app. Compose plus post via. Oh, I like this. Bigger product. Oh, abuse / risk service. How? If we're using sessions, we should be able to post from the app. Let's investigate this issue further. I do like this idea, actually. What about posting straight from the app? Is that against TOS? It feels like the cleanest approach. Why? Because everything stays in the app, but at the same time, it doesn't feel as organic. So how about we just stick with the simplest solution for now by menu, but we still need to identify the actual, if we mark as interacted and we paste the response, we still need to identify the actual URL of the response, right? But for now, we can just paste the response / the URL of our response. Or actually, only paste the URL of our response, because that's what we need. For piece 2, what to measure and when. 1 hour plus 24-hour checkpoints are a good MVP, because yeah, all we need is like a 1 hour checkpoint and 24 hour. We don't care about a reply that's 3 days old. We don't care. We just need 2 snapshots for 2 stats for this reply. And so one is going to be 1 hour after, 24 hours after. Okay, skip continuous polling. So it's almost like a bucket. Every hour we have a cron job or whatever, a process. Every hour it runs and it sees, okay, which replies does it need to get stats for? It's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40 replies, whatever. Then it's going to grab the stats for this and kind of move forward. I mean, it seems okay, but if it's a lot of replies that we're grabbing stats for, it might hit some rate limits. So I'm not sure. How does it say? Store something like, yeah, snapshots, metrics, views often run on GraphQL, views count / lazy engagement field, same family of session fetch as tweet results. Don't need a new product API. Okay, this seems pretty okay. Phase 3, how the sampler runs. We have the hourly loop, PM2 process, matches your idea, misses samples if API is down. So how does the sampler run? We can have a second PM2 worker. This seems like a cleaner approach. External cron is like way too much. We don't need a system D / cron job. We're just gonna second. Okay, so for the second part, piece 2 / 3, I want a second PM2 worker specifically for the stats collection. So now update the plan and make sure to open up an issue that we will tag with our PR stack. So I'm still on plan mode. It created a plan, but I'm not sure why it created a plan. I wanted it to actually investigate and just help me understand. But this will create a new plan according to my criteria that we kind of ironed this out a tiny bit more. For UI, I'm not really concerned too much about it. We need more of the back end stuff figured out. So here is the new option. Again, the option we went for is we're going to have to manually mark it as interacted. So let me show you guys what we're talking about. We have this AI Copilot, and it is just searches through threads that according to our agenda. Our agenda is we're looking for builders, talking points about shipping AI tools in public. So nothing nefarious, just a simple agenda. We're trying to find other builders. But the For You page on X is just not good enough. It keeps rage baiting me and everybody else. It keeps showing us posts that just ask you a question. You know, what are you building today? Sure, like send me your link, we'll give you views. Like, I can't believe X actually allows this kind of stuff. But anyway, this is stuff they show you. So we're trying to build an X Copilot that you don't have to waste your energy and your attention scrolling through this nonsense. Instead, you have the AI do everything for you. Identify cool threats. For example, this is 30, defending AI in building websites. I love this. Let's see. Let's check out this thread. Check out this thread. What is it about? So this guy is talking about, this is definitely feels like a human. First of all, you got the dot, dot, dots, you got the quotes, the normal. Okay, it feels all right. But what is that talking about? Yeah, this site is vibe coded. It's using AI. Boohoo. So this guy, okay, you wouldn't think twice when a builder uses a nail gun instead of a hammer, but here we are. AI is no different than a tool to help push creation. Don't be weird and just embrace the change. Yeah, I like that. This guy's just expressing his frustration with people calling vibe coding, people calling vibe coding not serious. We're vibe coding right now, and the type of workflows we're doing, I mean, this is professional workflows. So no, there's nothing wrong with vibe coding. So my opinion is vibe coding is just a term non-devs throw around. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're coding and vibing, more power to you. That's what I mean. Like, vibe coding, there's nothing wrong with vibe coding. Just because you're vibing, that means you're not sitting there stressing out about commas and the periods and indentations and syntax. That doesn't mean what you're doing is not serious. And just because everybody can do it doesn't mean that what you're doing is not serious. So anyway, I like this. This is someone's opinion, and it's relatively recent, I guess. Well, it's got a decent amount of views, and we get to share something. This is not engagement bait. This doesn't feel like rage bait. It just feels like someone expressing his opinion, and I do appreciate that. And this guy, gamer, creator, developer, so this is our correct ICP. Very nice way, because otherwise there's absolutely no way that I would have found this guy unless I would manually search it, because it's not going to show up on my For You page. On my For You page, I'm going to let me show you guys what shows up on my For You page. I'm telling you, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I did have some conversations with Gary, but I'm just saying, stuff like this, software should reduce decisions, not create more of them. It's just a statement, and I can make a lot of these kind of statements. I'm not interacting with this. Is a little bit difficult for me personally. Again, I have interacted with a lot of these individuals, and we've had some decent conversations. But in general, I would love to just interact a lot more about someone expressing their opinion. This is a perfect example here. What's powering your front end in 2026? Just a kind of vague question, just an engagement bait, Just I can't really avoid this kind of stuff, This, for example, is a little bit more interesting. Gemini rocks at research. Flash is the world's best model for research. Same quality as Soul, but 70% cheaper. Finally found a category where Gemini excels. So this is interesting. This is someone expressing their opinion. But again, this is affiliated with something. What are they affiliated with? Abascus AI. So again, there's some cross-promotion going on there. Nothing wrong with that. At least it's not just straight up spamming links. So anyway, this is the idea of the X-Copilot. So we don't have to waste. Look how much time we wasted scrolling through, trying to understand if something is good or not. It's a waste of time. We don't want to do that. We have AI do this for us. If everything is a business and you're just trying to grow your X account for distribution, or you're trying to connect with other builders, you don't want to waste as little time as possible. We're still ironing this out, because 2-day-old threads and 1-day-old threads, and especially 5-day-old threads, should be completely discarded. And this is something we did add in. Oh my God, I'm still in cursor mode. I need to. Oh, we're not. Never mind. This is something we've added just now in one of the recent PRs. Oh, actually, they all cleared. So I'll show you guys how we can do the merge. So both PRs got checked off by Vortex. So let's go to Graphite and let's go to our new stack here. So this is our new stack, 73, 72. So we're just gonna merge the bottom one first. The reason why I'm merging the bottom one first is if I don't want to merge both of them straight into main, what I want to do is merge the bottom one into the top one. I guess that's what Graphite lets you do, and then review those two PRs, which is what Vortex is gonna do right now. So you'll see when we merge the bottom one, right? The bottom one goes into main. This is how Graphite does it. We'll be doing it a little bit different, but the bottom one goes into main. The top one gets a second review. Why? Because it got replayed. The branch got changed, and the two commits from the bottom PR are now replayed. So it's gonna actually re-review this, which is fine, which is what we want. So once it does a re-review, then we're just gonna shove it into main. So this is pretty much done. And we do have another issue, I believe. No, yeah, we do have two issues. So the next issue is this track reply performance, pasted reply URL. So this is kind of a little bit of a bigger issue. I think this is going to be a multi-PR stack. So we're going to go ahead and make a plan for this. Okay, let's switch to cursor. So I'll show you guys cursor. Yep. Okay, please make a plan to do the stack of PRs or a single PR to address issue 74. Yeah, just easy as that. We're just gonna make it plan for a single PR or a second PR. It says 3 PR graphite stack in this case to address issue number 74. So it's gonna make this plan, and this is relatively, I think, separate from this stuff. So it's still just making the plan. It's okay. We can make the plan, and we can actually merge the PRs first. Let's see PR 73 when it's ready. We can merge this one, and then we can open up the new set of PRs. So here's 73. Again, we're just waiting on Vortex did check this out, check off on this, but Vortex actually checked off on this 06. So on this, it checked off on this branch coming through, but we still have not looked at this commit, as you can see. So fix abort check before cache. Look at this. You know, I don't know if you guys understand what's going on, but yeah, it's just a little bit of a messy Git history, as you can see, because we have the PR here to get reviewed, and then cyclone outcome fixed SHA. This is a SHA here. Let's see. Oh, this is a SHA, bro. We got, yeah, branch from this to this. Yeah, it's a little bit messy. It's hard to read this, but yeah, essentially what it's doing is reviewing this merged PR. All right, guys, make sure we're almost ready here. And technically could just merge this, but we're going to let Vortex finish the review. Other than that, I think we're just pretty much ready to finish here, guys. Again, let me show you guys what we've done so far today. I think it's been about an hour. Again, we just kind of updated the triage a little bit. We've added time ago, so our filtering now is a little bit better. It's gonna look for more recent threads, especially ones in the last 6 hours instead of ones from days old. We also added looking at the reply. So again, just some quality improvements to how we curate the threads for X. We're still working on the memory. We added the proper tabs so we can keep track of interacted engagements, and now we're also adding the stats, so we can actually track the stats for each engagement, how many views, likes, comments, etc. This will help us fine-tune our searching and our scout to be able to find better threads from better people, especially that fit better for you. That's kind of the end goal. We'll have durable memory, and the agent will learn from every interaction you do, and as it searches for threads, as it has more interactions in memory, it will be able to find better quality threads that help you answer it more easily and get more engagement. That's the final idea. The idea is, again, remove the whole thing with automatically creating the replies, because that's against TOS. That's not scalable. That's just not something you want to do. You still want to be a human talking as a human. The only thing is that you want to leverage your humanity as much as possible, and that's not by, you need to do something different. So instead of doing what everybody else does, scrolling through the For You page and trying to find people that you want to interact with, why not have an AI or X-Copilot do all the searching for you, find the threads you want to talk about, and that way you can just start interacting with it. So I think that's going to be the end of the stream for tonight, guys. Again, everything we're building here is open source. It's open source repo. You can feel free to contribute or clone this, use this. Any feedback is much appreciated. Thank you all for checking on the stream, and I'll see you guys